Hello and welcome to Burning Questions, July 21. Tim O'Connor. I'm back in the chair again. They haven't got rid of me yet. I'm up to about week 3 or week 4 in Mr. Bonnington's absence, but having a ball doing these shows, and I reckon I've done all right with the guests again. Chris Alford is the first of our special guests. Thanks for joining us, Chris, and thanks to your lovely daughter for sorting out the technology as well.
No, thanks, Tim. Couldn't have been here without Katie's help.
Good stuff. You were just saying off air that tomorrow holds Bacchus Marsh Trials, then to Albion Park for you. I think you're the only person in Australia doing that.
Yeah, well, these are the things we've got to do.
That's right. And we go to our next guest up the top of my screen. I don't know where he ends up on the end result, but it's Darren Carroll, professional punter. The best of the three brothers, I think, too, isn't he? Aren't you, Darren? Good to have you on the show, mate.
Thanks for having me, Tim.
And you are taking a bit of time out of Mildura, which is currently on as well, so we appreciate that. And the third and final guest, he's basically a co-host, not a guest, Andy Gath. Great to have you back on, Andy. And before we get stuck into the show, could you just clear up for any of those people out there that thought I may have believed you when you said Kate Gath may be driving Yambuckian on Saturday night?
Yeah, no, I thought you did believe me. I was a bit surprised you put it on Twitter. You obviously understand my sarcasm.
Well, I have got an audio recording of it, so we can play it if required. Great to have you back on the show. Let's get stuck right into it. We're going to cover Melton on Saturday night, and of course, Albion Park up north. Felvo Fruits is the first of our sponsors. Felvo Fruits grow top quality table grapes on the farms, and working closely together with Premier Farms Australia, these table grapes are delivered to customers all over the world. Remember, everybody, eating grapes is good for you. Chris, what's your favourite fruit before we get stuck into it?
Favourite fruit would be, I don't eat much, but probably an apple.
An apple, a toffee apple, perhaps. Yeah, pretty straight down the line. We'll start our burning questions at Melton. The first of those is Tex looks a lock in his return, but who can run second to Andy's champ? Of course, we're talking about Catch a Wave, Andy. This is extremely exciting for everybody in harness racing, and even more so yourself. First of all, speak about Catch a Wave and his return, but who do you think can run second? Will it be a stablemate half-brother double?
Yeah, obviously, like that could eventuate. Yambuckian's got the favourite with the barrier draw. He's got pretty good gate speed himself. You think he's going to be fenced behind the leader, behind Catch a Wave, if everything goes to plan. So he's definitely got every opportunity to be run second to him, I'd say.
And Catch a Wave, I mean, you've spoken across various media outlets, and I even posted a video courtesy of you last night. He is dead set low flying. I mean, you couldn't have him any better.
No, he's in great order. It's been a great situation with him. We've been able to take our time, get plenty of miles under him. Yeah, and he's just really in the zone at the moment. His work at home's gone to another level again. So, and it's going to have to, because our competition's really strong. You see what's going on up north and how good Leap to Fame's going. But yeah, looking forward to the challenge that we've got ahead of us, and hope this is a very good stepping stone for him Saturday night. That yeah, obviously, job done.
Yeah, Darren. Obviously, you're excited to see him back out at the races. Pretty confident you'll be on track to witness him. But I'm interested in who might run second to him, and even third, fourth, and fifth if we want to get fancy in our exotics. Do you see it as Yambuckian's, his race to lose in terms of getting a runner-up position?
Yeah, the map looks that way, but sometimes that doesn't always be the case, especially when you've got a short odds on favourite. Sometimes some drivers all want to be in that one spot, and that's behind the leader, and they can overdo it. But I doubt they'll press the button from out wide, so that means Yambuckian gets the perfect run. Did a little bit of research, and the 9 times that I could find that Catch a Wave has led on its own, 7 out of those 9 times, the one behind the leader ran second or third. And the other 2 occasions, they just went silly trying to find the leader's back type thing, and then they caved out. So it's definitely prime position, round about even money. I would have thought it's around the right price, probably a good price. Just depends on the tempo of the race, not that too early, but you think it'll be fence dominated. They'll come home and really split last half. And if that's the case, you know where you want to be. And that's on the fence. He ticks the box, Yambuckian for me.
Okay. Chris, Yambuckian to run second, or a horse that you've driven a lot over his career, Max Delight, who's partnered by Greg Sugars. Could he upset the apple cart?
Probably just depends on what Kate wants to do with Catch a Wave, whether she lets him run or they go slow and just sprint a half. But if they go solid and If you look at the track work you put up there the other day, Bookie and spaced out well behind Catch a Wave. So I thought Bully in the end might run over the top and run second.
Okay, Julian, for you. I was actually going to ask you that, Andy, before we go to the next question. I must admit it partly put me off seeing that track footage because I didn't know. It actually looked like Yambaki went terrible, but tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong. It just shows you that anything, and Go Tara or Go Dream when he was there, or any high class horse.
Can't wait to see him back at the races. Sulky App is the next of our sponsors. They've been a great supporter. Combining the power of results and horse sectionals with Sulky App, you now have access to gate speed, swooper, ability, and behaviour ratings. Never miss a trainer, driver, or gear change again. Sulky App is a form guide revolution. Sign up at sulky.app. Is Sleepy or Vacation Hill ready to pounce first up from a spell, or will those race fit rivals be too far forward? Chris, go to you first. Sleepy is based at your stable, trained by your wife, Alison. You won't be driving. I think Josh Duggan has the steer. First up from a long break. What do we expect on Saturday night at Melton?
I think she's pretty well forward enough to run a good race. If that wasn't a stand tomorrow night, she'd go into Bacchus Marsh trials tomorrow just to see if she's going to step away, which is half the problem. She can get a bit silly and rear up and stuff like that. But if she steps, she'll be right in the race. If not, we have to take her to Bacchus Marsh.
Andy, Vacation Hill?
Yeah, obviously, it's always tough playing off handicap, especially over the 2200 distance. Not a lot of start form in this race. I think it'd be a great race for the in-play punters. See who goes away, who doesn't go away. She's forward enough, Vacation Hill. She probably was ready to go a month ago, and she had a bit of a foot abscess, and we had to take her out. So she's had a couple of trials, working well. She always does. She's generally safe on the stand. She's got each way hope, but it's going to be tough on the draw. So who wins the race, I don't really know. It's pretty tricky, but Tipsy Turvey's probably a safe one that you know is going to step away and probably get a nice soft run.
Speaking to Nathan Jack earlier this week, he liked the chances of Courmayeur. Darren, drawn the inside. It's really a race you can make a case for just about every horse. Who have you marked on top?
Very, very tricky race. I'd probably rather talk about the research that did on the race. The 9 times that been held at Melton over 22.40. 7 times it's been front markers, 2 times handicap. 1 time that handicap runner found the front after 400 metres, and the other time it was Mary time. So that goes to show how hard it is for handicap runners to win the race. But this doesn't look a race where the standing start, there's no standouts from a stand start point of view, which is quite rare for these. Like you've got horses that, out of the draw, there's 5 out of the 8 out of the draw. 1 making its debut. Tipsy Turvey hasn't had a standing start since Redwood. Just goes to show how long it's been. So it's a very, very tough race. As Andy said, one of those races where you, after 100 metres, you probably decide what goes on. But if Courmayeur happened to be the lead or be behind the lead, it would be so hard to beat. But yeah, it'd be my top pick, but I wouldn't be having an early bet unless you had more confidence in the stand start winners. Because even Aldebaran Keeper, it hasn't had a stand here in Australia, but it was unruly in New Zealand. But if it pinged from outside the front, then it'd be hard to catch as well. So really tough race.
Lucky you've got a laptop and you'll be sitting up high in the stands on Saturday night, Darren.
I'd say so.
Great stuff. That is Melton. I'll throw that form guide over there and we'll start to have a bit of a look.
I think we have one more question at Melton.
Sorry, go again.
The Mayor's race.
You're right. You're absolutely right. What am I on about? I've skipped a question here. How about you? You are a star. Pride's Easy Feed stand as a proud supporter of the harness racing industry with their set recipes and quality ingredients to give the trainer confidence in what they're feeding. So make the switch to Pride and start getting the result you've been chasing. I think I might have to try a bit of that myself to get myself back on the ball. Which of Emma's star mares takes out the Jane Allen, or is there a surprise in store? We'll go to you, Andy. A really good race. I have thrown my form guide out, but there's Encipher, there's Tough Tilly first up from a break. Petillon's been scratched. Beach Life. There's one other, Darren. Who is it?
Did you say?
Treachery.
Heavenly Charm.
Treachery is the one. What do you reckon, Andy? Is it Emma's to lose?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, there's plenty of weapons. They're all great mares. They're both first up, and they're both quality mares as well. But yeah, they're probably going to be up against it. It's such a strong mares race. And Cypher with atrial fibrillation last start, but has trialled really good since. Kate drove at Ballarat trial, really sharp. So to give last start, we know how tough Tilly is. We know how good Treachery is. Yeah, it's who wins it? I don't know, but I'd probably think Kate watches an episode.
Puppet?
Yeah, pretty hard to line up, but yeah, I think Just Hope could be the fly in the ointment. I'd say they wouldn't have her back at the races if she wasn't somewhere near right, and I don't think if Just Hope led, she'd be handing the front to any of the others.
Yeah, interesting. And she's a double figure odds too, so I could push there from you, Chris, if she's right to go. Of course, she's back from a long breakthrough injury. She has had a trial. Darren, I think we're on the same page here. Tell me we're right.
Yeah, look, I respect the field greatly. Like you look at Chayella, for instance, it took the next step last preparation and had a win over in Cypher, just the fact it's first up, but it has trialled well, like they all have. Yeah, I'm sticking with in Cypher. I think be the aggressor. Just depends on how fit Just Hope and Chayella are, whether they want to find lead or practice it on Cypher, but going that way. But such a good race and so much respect for Treachery and especially tough Tilly. You know, it'll get a good run through.
I'm pretty keen in Cypher here. I think it's one of the better bets on the card. I was really taken by that trial there. Andy Kate came up to drive, and I was there that day just poking around. And it was only a 2-horse trial. Act Now led the race, and in Cypher was able to run him down. And if you remember, he was the Inter-Dominion favourite. He's no slouch and very, very hard to run down. So I thought in Cypher would be too good. I can throw that form guy away.
26 that trial, Tim. You know.
Go again, Darren.
Zip time in 26.6 in that trial. Was very slick. So
that's the clocking you've done there. Thank you, because it looked good to the eye, but I hadn't run the clock over it. So yeah, very keen in Cypher. I think she's around 250 or thereabouts. We go to Albion Park now. Amore was phenomenal in the Golden Girl, but could she or anyone else possibly bring down the freak from the creek in Leap to Fame? We'll start with you, Chris Alford. You are going to make the trip from Bacchus Marsh Trial to the creek on Saturday night. I think you're going to stay the night in Brisbane and then jump back on the plane and get back here for whatever awaits you when you get home. I said to you on the phone yesterday, a long way to go for a 50-1 chance, and you're quick to point out that you've driven some big race winners at big prices over the years. Can this be another one?
Yeah, hopefully. It's going to be hard from the draw, but her run last week was amazing. We couldn't win in the run, and I thought she was going to run 5th or 6th about the 500, but she just put her head down and kept on trucking to the line and got the job done. And I think even Grant Dixon said to Clayton that horses can't do that at Albion Park, which just one out of the box. But Leap to Fame's just going great. It looks like there's Jason Grimson. They're talking Swayze up like they do with some of theirs. They got it wrong last week with Better Zip It, but if they run and go hard, she'll be getting home strong late.
And just a quick word on Leap to Fame before we move on to the other guests. You're always a voice of reason in these conversations. The world's best has been thrown around. A lot of hype gets thrown around about good horses. But I'd love to get your take. I'm sure you're very respectful of him, but I reckon you'd say, let's just hold fire a little bit, Leap to Fame.
Yeah, I think he's a great horse. He couldn't, his run at Redcliffe was out of this world. He couldn't win with 600 to go and won by 10 metres. And he needs to keep progressing and beat some really good horses. If he comes out and does that Saturday night and then again does it in the Eureka, you'd say, well, fair enough, he's got to be right up there. But until then, great horse, but not the world best.
Yeah. Andy, Amore Vita, Mac down to the Victorian representatives in the Blacks of Fake on Saturday night. Are you thinking we're any chance, or is there anyone there that can upset Leap to Fame's run of form at the moment?
Well, it's pretty hard to beat. And we know that he's lining up in a week. He's still only a 4-year-old. We all know how good he is all the time. Amore Vita was just terrific last week. They were sort of on a par. I think if it's really truly fun, I think Amore Vita can definitely run a place. She's a great man. Sort of handle the horses. I think 50 odds and St. Louis is a pretty good horse, and he's probably the winning hope today.
Daz, how do you see this? Is it? It's probably what I know the way you think. I think you just put the laptop aside, close the betting accounts down, and just watch these good horses.
Yeah, he's a star. There's no doubt about it. I'm a believer in longevity and seeing it over a period of time. So let's not get too carried away that he's a real star, and let's just enjoy what we're watching at the moment. But, what he's doing up there at the moment is great for the sport and getting people to watch, and that's what we want. And if we're getting non-regular harness punters watching him, then it's going to be good for the sport. And yeah, when it gets through them up, we probably get carried away, but that doesn't hurt every now and then. Scratch the height. But all it means is that the Eureka is just going to be the race of the decade, the way it's looking. So I hope he does what he's been doing, continues on his merry way, and it's just good for publishing the sport. It does look like he's well placed again in the draw. I think they'll probably go really hard early, and then he'll just decide when he put him to the race. Like last week, he doesn't have to go into the death. He'll just be tempo related. But I can't see him being beaten, and $1.35 is probably about the right price.
The last of our burning questions before the best bets. Will the Lost Storm blow them away again? And can he challenge the big boys in Menangle's big dance? Of course, I'm talking about the Eureka. I'll leave you to last. I'll go to you first, Andy. He wins on Saturday night, does he? And do you see him as a significant threat to these young 4-year-olds that are at the top of the Tab Eureka market?
The quality horse, the Last Storm. We saw what he done as a 2-year-old, and his 2-run back have been really good. I thought he improved a lot when he go run to his run at Albion Park. So you think he's going to get the job done winning this derby? It looks like he's too good for him. He's going to be a 4th pick for the Eureka. Even probably the only case, it's still going to be great competition. So he's a quality horse going forward, and you think he's going to win this derby, and he's going to draw well in the Eureka, so he's definitely going to be hard to beat.
Darren, he wins on Saturday night, doesn't he, in the derby? And have you got him as a sneaky hope in the Eureka? Just keeping in mind that he does draw to advantage over some of the main dangers in the market.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Andy said. He definitely looked sharper second up than first up. He looked good the other night. Like he zipped home in 25.9, and like he could do another quarter 25.9 later in the line. So he does step up to the longer distance, but we know that he's Walker's still captain, and so he's not just a speed machine. He can be really tough as well. So I don't think there's any forces in the race. So I don't think it looks like a real stain. So we'll probably get the job done. As far as the Eureka is concerned, I think it's fantastic. They've got a 3-year-old going with the race. It's a live chance. He comes from the elite stable, and his performance already shows how good he is. So yeah, as Andy said, he's the 4th pick at the moment. So it's good to have a 4th pick of his standard.
Yeah. Puppet, Queensland Derby and Eureka chances for the Lost Storm?
The Queensland Derby pretty much looks his race to lose. He probably just keep rolling forward till he finds the front. And Eureka, on the other hand, I don't think the stable would put him in it if they didn't think he was, good enough to run at least top 3. But he's going to have to keep stepping up to, match it with the big boys.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. He's definitely in contention, but it would be a surprise to see him win the Eureka, I think, as good as he is. That's the questions out of the way. Let's go to the best bets. Most people probably just flick past all of our nonsense, fellas, and go straight for the best bets. Not that we've had a great run in recent times. We might start with you, Andy. You tend to go with one of yours. What are you planning this week at Melton?
Yeah, I've probably got to stick with winning hopes, but I'll probably stick with Terry. We know everyone loves him. I think he'll be able to get the job done. One of the questions I had on Twitter too from Brett Carroll. Not sure if Darren knows him that well, but you want to know about has been with all week, and I like to think he had to prove and he needed to. So, yeah, see you better on Saturday night.
There was one other question on there too from some other bloke I know asking about who's driving Yambuckian. Can you help us out there?
A young kid, Herbie, going to give him a crack.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Good on you. Good luck. Good luck to the young. Good luck to the young fella. Darren, your best bet on the program on Saturday night, anywhere in the country?
Anywhere in the country. Well, I'm going to go race 1 at Melton. I'm going to go a place bet on Regal Rock. A map at been 3 fence. I know Andy loves fence at Melton race 1. $6 a place at the moment. I'm almost certain the map will be, I think, odds-on favourite in front, Rock and Roll Waller behind the leader and 3 fences to the right. That was the placings in the first race last week at Kilmore. I know Nathan's horse is a nice horse, but I think 3 fences at $6 is a good bet.
Okay. Wow, I like that. So race 1, number 8, Regal Rock for Glenn Bull, having a good run at the moment too. That'll give you a bit of confidence. Chris Alford, what are you tipping us into? Amore Vita at 50-1 to make yourself a hero on Burning Questions?
No. I'll just go 1 at Melton. I'll go Kai Valley Piero X-Ray. I'm not sure what race it is. I know he's drawn 1.
Okay.
Race 3, number 1.
Got a rough
Race
price?
3, number 1.
Just wind it out a bit too, if you don't mind.
$5 at the moment. Yeah, no place bet there, but $5 a
Fantastic. So that's Chris Alford's best bet. My best bet, for those that are still with us, race 4, number 1, Yambuckian to place. I'll go with him to place on Saturday night. He's about $1.90. I am a tiny bit put off, Andy, by that vision as unbelievable as Catchaway is, but I think the map's just looks that type of race. I don't usually get map driven in my bets, probably to my detriment sometimes, but this just looks one of those single file races where they sprint home, and Yambuckian's as good as any of them that'll be behind him. So Yambuckian, race 4, number 1, a place for me. That's been the Burning Question. It's been a great episode, guys. Thanks for joining us. I know you're a busy man. Chris, good luck at the Bacchus Marsh Trials, most importantly, but also up in Queensland.
Thanks, guys.
Andy, much appreciated. And, let's hopefully we don't stir up any more people on the socials this week.
We'll try not to.
Thanks, mate. And thanks, Darren. Good luck on, wherever you're sitting and basing yourself with a laptop on Saturday night.
Yeah, great night racing tomorrow night across both states. Look forward to watching some really nice horses out there.
Yeah, catch it all the Melton racing at trotsvision.com.au, Sky Channel for Albion Park or wherever you get it. Thanks for joining us on Burning Questions. That's the episode for July 21. We'll join you in a week's time. See you then.